So I'm joined by Alex. How you going, mate?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me, Hannah.
Absolute pleasure. We're sitting in the restaurant at the Gov.
Your surname's not actually Gig, is it?
No, that's my radio show. It's Mingy, a very German name.
Yeah. Oh, well, that would fit with the Barossa heritage.
It does. I fit in well there.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you all work full-time jobs.
Yes, that's right.
So what's your job, Alex?
My job's a bit strange for a rock star, but it's a surgeon.
I thought you were going to say a cough, and I was like, nah, that can't be happening. How do you just take time off tour then when you're a surgeon?
Well, luckily we've got a fifth member called Ali, who's actually from the Barossa, and he plays when I can't play. But luckily in Australia, most of the tours are based around weekends, so I can usually work my work schedule with help from my colleagues to get to the gigs. But if I can't, then Ali does. And then, unfortunately, like when we've gone overseas, I haven't been able to go, so Ali's gone. But he's now become a kind of extra member of the band, so it's worked out well. But it involves a lot of like red-eye flights, organising. It's a bit stressful, really. But we kind of decided to do it that way because it means there's less pressure on us to actually earn money, which is a very difficult thing to do in music these days.
We'll talk about that a bit later on. Hey, look, so you're on tour with The Living End at the moment.
Yep.
You must just love being on tour, leaving the surgeon behind. Do you become a different person on stage than like a professional surgeon?
Oh, absolutely. I think, for me, surgery is something where you've got to be very precise and organised and exact. And for me, being able to play the guitar and do music is when I get to do the complete opposite thing. It's a very instinctual, crazy, creative thing. So the two complement each other nicely.
So do you ever tell anyone before you operate them, by the way, I'm in a rock band?
No, I think I have actually had a few patients young people that know the band. But no, I actually try to keep it kind of secret because most of my bosses are pretty conservative and they don't really I don't think they would really approve of it, to be honest.
Hey, look, so while you're on tour, who gets up to the most shit on the road? Anyone causing,
Well, I think everyone has their moments, to be honest.
Shaving off eyebrows?
I'd have to say Ali, my fill-in, is probably consistently the most naughty. But then everyone has their times of being. Yeah, we kind of do quite well in that regard. Everyone likes to have a good time, and the band, everyone's sort of quite social. So yeah, we always get up to a few shenanigans. I'm trying to think of a particular story, but I can't at the top of my head. But no, we just because everyone's away from. Everyone loves being in a band, and part of being in a band is being part of a community.
Yeah.
So wherever you go, there's other friends in other bands, or people that you work with, like producers or guitar tech people, engineers,
radio hosts.
Yeah, exactly, radio hosts, music writers. So it's always great to be able to get away from your mundane 9 to 5 work and get out, and so it's almost like a catch up with all those people as much as it is, playing a gig.
So you're on tour with The Living End. How did you get that?
Oh, it's just organised through our booking agent, and we're at a time where in between our release of the 2 albums, but we still want to keep playing shows and trying to play in front of new people.
Yeah.
Living End are a sort of iconic Australian band. They, we all grew up listening to them. And so it was just, they wanted a younger band to support them, and so we jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah, so I grew up. I think I was 10 years old playing Prisoner of Society on guitar hero.
You probably wouldn't have even been born when it came out, would you?
Not when it came out, no. But I played on guitar hero. It's the only thing I could play without being.
So you weren't born when it came out?
I don't know. When did it come out? What year?
1998.
I'm 99, so missed it. Missed it, damn.
That's very scary. Yeah, no, I can remember when it came out. I was about, how old are you now?
No, 17.
I would have been about your age or a little bit younger. And that video, I can...
Oh, here comes our chips.
Yeah, here's our food. That's for me, thanks. That video clip was, just here. That video clip was, it was, because you got to understand, it was a real, at that time, it was that song was massive. They sold 300,000 copies of that single, which is a huge amount.
Yeah.
And so it was like everywhere. And that video clip was, I can still remember watching that on Rage every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So it's quite weird to get to, so many years later to meet the people that are involved in it.
Do you remain cool around them? Really calm? Not like,
I think so, but they're really down to earth.
That's
and
good.
really nice.
Yeah.
And we've got a few other connections like there. It's a bit of a convoluted story, but one of the people that produced our band once and used to manage the old band that I was in is married to their manager, and he does the sound for them now. So that was another kind of connection that we kind of know other people.
That's not too bad. Hey, look, most of the guys, the band kind of formed from knowing each other at footy.
That's right. Yeah. So we all went to the same school, but I'm like the oldest, and then the bass player and drummer Miles and James are kind of 6 years younger than me, and then Ben, the singer's a little bit younger again, and he's the same age as Ali.
Yeah.
And everyone played football at the Old Scholars Football Club, and I'd been living in Melbourne, and I came back and went there just to play a bit of football, and then met the other guys from there, and we all were into music, and that's how it started. Yeah.
So you're a band from Adelaide, where obviously the music scene isn't as big as Melbourne, Sydney. How did you find the success you guys have got?
Sorry, how did I what?
Find the success like in the band that you guys have got when you're not.
Well, luckily, a few of us had been in bands before, and I'd been in a band in Melbourne, so we had some connections.
Yeah.
Other people to go and play interstate with, and I think. I guess finding any success is just trying to make good songs.
Yeah.
And we knew that from being in bands before, like if you can do that well, then you'll be able to hopefully get people that people like you, and we did that, and I guess we've worked quite hard to like early on. About 3 or 4 years ago, we did a tour like this, except we were like these guys, the first band on.
Oh.
Just after we'd started, was with a band called Children Collide.
I haven't heard them.
Okay.
I'll check them out though.
They're kind of defunct now, but they were quite big, and I think it was like 25 shows, and we were getting paid $100 a show, so we had to and this is going anywhere from Bunbury in Western Australia to Ballarat to Brisbane to Toowoomba, and so obviously we had to sleep on friends' floors and. Buy our own plane tickets, fly on the Tiger Air flights.
Yeah, no, we still fly Tiger. Nothing wrong with it.
I know, that was a lot of hard work to get to the stage now that now we actually we're the next band on the level, and we can afford to stay in proper places and have flights that aren't at like 5 a.m. in the morning.
Exactly. So your album Dogs at Bay was a massive success. That's how I heard you guys. Everybody was just like, you've got to check this out. How are you going to follow that up?
Well, I guess we're
the
working.
Living End tour is kind of up there.
I guess the same thing we've always done is just try and write good songs. It's easy in music to get distracted by trying to get a certain sound or try it, come up with something really new and clever. But we just try and write songs about stuff we know, and if you're writing from your own heart, then it connects with people when they hear it. And and in terms of the mechanics of it, we're recording with the same producer again, Mark Opitz, who's a great mentor to us, so he's an important part of the process.
Yeah.
And we've finished the first single from it. We've recorded 4 songs so far.
Good job.
And that will probably come out in a few months from now.
Can't wait. So you're as proud as your old songs as you are of your new songs? Do you ever just have old songs that everybody's falling in love with, all the fans, but you guys hate them and you never want to play them?
I think that's a bit an inevitable part of being in a band, because you're always wanting to be creative and wanting to do the new thing, but
just get stuck on the old.
You've got to remember that the fans. Yeah, you should. It's terrible if you go and see a band and they purposely. Or they don't want to play one of their great songs from the past. So
I saw AC/DC and they did Long Way to the Top.
Yeah,
I was devastated. I was so devastated.
So, but it is easy. But I think if they're good songs, that you should always be able to keep them fresh.
Yeah. So look, all your shows, what can we expect from them? Except from some mates on stage having a good time and singing some good music.
Well, it's all, hopefully it's pretty energetic and pretty sounds, I think most people would probably say it sounds a bit rawer than the recordings.
Yeah.
But, and as you saw from that video, there's usually like some guys, young guys getting pretty raucous down the front and throwing themselves around.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a bit worried about that because it means the girls, like, or the smaller people can't.
No, some of us girls can hold our own.
Well, yeah, I hope so. We're thinking of creating a little area where there's no sort of moshing zone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
people that don't want to get
people
that don't want to get like beer spilled
for the mums.
The mums and the non-crazy crazy young drunk guys.
Hey, look, thanks so much, Alex, for having a chat. I'll let you eat your schnitzel now, and I'll get into the chips.
Great, thanks very much.